Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood says the money will go towards repairing crumbling roads and bridges at a time when hundreds of thousands of construction workers are looking for work. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jason Altmire from Pennsylvania, also a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Sir, the first question has to be, why was there $470 million unspent dollars to begin with?
Most of these are projects that just never got off the ground. Some of them have actually been completed in some cases. It's money that was a federal match for state or local money that never came through the pipeline. Projects were canceled, other things were done. Political changes occurred in states and projects were taken off the books. But the money's already been allocated, so unless, as the President has done, that money is reallocated to other priority transportation projects, it's going to do what it's been doing for the past 9 years and just sit there not helping anybody.
It's really sketchy. It's a little disheartening, too. We got a lot of cities and municipalities going bankrupt. They could have used this money months ago.
I agree. They could have used it 9 years ago
right,
when some of it was first appropriated, but that's water under the bridge. Right now, we have to repair our roads and bridges. We have to spend this money. It's been allocated specifically to repair our infrastructure needs in this country, and I think the President's doing the right thing by releasing the money for other projects.
Okay, but, you know, we all know money's fungible. I mean, you could release this money to the cities and municipalities, and they could spend it to cover their pension costs, for all we know.
Well, Secretary LaHood's been very specific. This is transportation and infrastructure spending. It's going to go to the states. The states are going to decide what projects can qualify for the funding. And if the money is not obligated by the end of this year, it's going to be taken away from those states.
So how will these states start to see this money? I mean, somebody going to get a check on Monday?
Well, what happens is it's generally a drawdown account. So you qualify for funding, you have to do the work, and then once the work is completed, you're reimbursed for the funding. And often, as I say, there's state and local matches that occur. So these are real projects that are going to be completed, and no one can argue we don't have infrastructure need in this country. I think this is the right thing to do.
I agree with you, but you can't help but question the timing, right? Wouldn't it be really nice if we had really nice roads people drove on the way to the election booths that day?
Well, look, you can make that case, but I don't think that means just because there's an election coming up, we should do nothing in this country. I agree with you. This should have been done years ago, maybe in the previous administration. It wasn't. I don't know why it wasn't, but look, that money's been sitting there in some cases for up to 9 years. It's time to get the infrastructure work in this country moving and get jobs created because of it, and that's what we're doing.
And part of the problem, though, the money's there, to your point earlier, is that these are projects that never even went through. So, I mean, the whole system has one big flaw all over it, doesn't it?
Well, in some cases, and again, there's a multitude of reasons why the money wasn't spent in states. It had to do with changes in the political environment, projects that just never got off the ground, matches that never came through, and that's why you have $473 million that's available 9 years after the fact.
Representative Jason Altmire from Pennsylvania, thank you for answering our questions and taking the time.
Thank you, Tracy. Happy to do it.